Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, we got some boxing about to go off in a few hours. Matter of fact, Javante Davis and Lamont Roach and stuff like that. A matter of fact, Konar Ben and them about to pop off. I think soon. Matter of fact, when is Konar Ben and Chris Eubank Jr. fight? But it's a weekend that I was about to take off anyway and not watch too much, but maybe I will. Let's see what happens. But I'm not gonna talk about that. No, I was just reading an article, and it was talking about Benavidez. Jose Benavidez Senior. The father of David Benavidez. Who's really been on a good run. Basically his whole career, to be honest with you. David Benavidez coming off the David Morrell fight, which let's not in retrospect try to put it down. That was a huge fight. That was more props to both of those guys for taking the fight with each other. They were both excellent fighters and they put on a good show. I would like to see a rematch there. Maybe they fight one or two guys and get back in there and do that one again. That's real good because David Morrell is all that, really. So, but Jose Benavidez Sr. has said recently and before, and his thing is this, he's like, Canelo Alvarez is done, right? And he says that Artur Beterbiev and Dmitry Bivol, those are true fighters, And what he's trying to say here is he's like, Benavidez, not Benavidez, but Bivol and Beterbiev, they basically trying to fight the hard fights. Basically, fighting each other is proof of that. But he fought anybody hard. Like for Bivol, for example, when he's fighting anybody that was somebody in the light heavyweight division. But even after he fighting Canelo, the next thing that he did, which I thought just proves that Benavidez is gonna have a problem with him, is right after Canelo Alvarez to fight that style and then to go into Gilberto Ramirez, tall, southpaw, throw them hands, a lot of hands. Ramirez is not somebody who relaxes. And to be able to deal with that, Bivol, has fought everybody, and he's taken care of anybody in any kind of style. And Beterbiev knocks out everybody. And there's nobody out there calling them out and they won't fight them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, hey, I'll fight you, and ain't nobody fight them. It's not like that. Those guys are just fighting, and there's nobody left, And Jose Benavidez is just saying, if Canelo has been, after getting beat by Bivol, he's not trying to fight anybody hard. You know what I mean? That's his point. After Bivol, we know he won't fight his son, David Benavidez. We know that. That's so documented, right? He's just not going to do that regardless. First, I ain't fighting no Mexicans. Then, he rehydrates too high, and then, all the money in the world didn't help. Nothing helps, right? So he's just not going to do that. And David Morrell either, but he's not going to do that. And after Bivol beat him, you would think that he would want a rematch at a lower weight back at 168 because he fought him at 175 pounds. He didn't want to do that either because then his titles would be on the line and the excuses would be gone. So, he's not looking for anybody, looking around Morrell and Benavidez trying to pick people. He didn't fight Mexicans, but then, I better fight Munguia, right? Then I wait for the WBA to tell Morrell, take your ass up to the next division because you can't get no fight. Replace him with Berlanga weeks later, literally weeks later, then he'll fight Berlanga. And people are seeing that. Some say something about it, some not. The bottom line here is with videos like this, me talking about it, you're not going to make any inroads to anybody who's a fan of Canelo still. To say Canelo is a good fighter, that's Canelo is a good fighter, but he's not one of the best. The best fighters just act different. They're going to go something. People can say Canelo was done. Benavidez could say he's done after the Bivol fight. But me, I go way back, because what happened to Morrell with the WBA, Morrell was good, and he had to leave because he couldn't get fights. And then they replace him with somebody, that Canelo will fight, like Berlanga. That happened at 154 with Demetrius Andrade. He's the champion. Canelo doesn't want to fight him. Demetrius, get out of here. You can't get fights. Get out. We'll replace you with Liam Smith. Now Canelo fights him, right? Jamal Charlo, I don't care how many interim fights you have. We're not going to let you fight Canelo. Here's a new belt called the franchise title. And we're not going to just, and you can't fight him for it. We're just going to say he's better and give him this new thing. You can't fight for it, and that's it. So you can't have it. I mean, just stuff in daylight. People that don't follow boxing wouldn't believe that that was true. They'll be like, what are you talking about? The sanction about WBC, isn't that one of the ones for forever? Been there forever. They wouldn't do something like that. Just make a new belt and let a guy just not fight another guy who's the mandatory challenger, would they? Yeah, and they did it in broad daylight. Couldn't even describe what it was. Just Canelo ain't going to have to fight this guy, Jamal Charlo. So people looking at that, Benavidez, man, he's given up on his son fighting Canelo. And that was his main point. Like, hey, we can keep talking about it. But what else is there? What would you want? You would want, he would get a lot of prestige fighting Benavidez. It's what everybody's asking for. You were able to get money for it, a whole lot of money for it. What else is missing? But like I said before, Demetrius Andrade was worse. Because he could have got a title beating Demetrius Andrade at 154, and he could have become undisputed for fighting Demetrius Andrade at 160. Undisputed, and the most money. So when Canelo decides that he ain't fighting nobody, then the boxing world does things to, let him finagle his way around. One fight against Demetrius Andrade at 160 to be undisputed. No, I'd rather go up and fight three guys, Callum Smith, Callum Platt, and Billy Joe Saunders. I'd rather go do that than fight one fight for undisputed at the middleweight. I'll go up to super middleweight, and I know when I go up there to super middleweight that the WBC is going to give me the WBC championship. And let me tell you, if you're not hearing it here, no one, and I mean no one, will tell you that Canelo got the WBC 168-pound belt given to him because he fought Callum Smith for the WBA, and they just said, hey, we're just going to put it on that as a title fight. Why? When you have Benavidez there, where Canelo could fight him for it. No. Now, speaking of the WBC, Bivol just won, right? Didn't Dimitri Bivol just won the Undisputed Championship? Do you know the WBC is trying to mandate him to fight Benavidez now? Mandate him. He just became champion now, week ago. Mandate him to fight Dave Benavidez, which is a good fight. It's not really a problem. Wouldn't be a problem with that. Oh, yeah, actually it would, no matter who it was, because you shouldn't mandate a guy who just became undisputed. Back off. Let him, fight somebody. Call me up or something. Give him one easy fight, and then mandate him. But okay, you mandated him to fight David Benavidez, which is a good fight for the boxing fans. But that's the same sanctioning body that did never mandate Canelo to fight Benavidez, who was his mandatory for 2.5 years. So we're talking not even 2.5 weeks. They mandating Bivol, mandating him, undisputed guy, mandated him. Just came off there, still got the lumps on his head, fighting your boy Beterbiev. He's got to be mandated to fight Benavidez, but we didn't mandate Canelo to fight your boy Benavidez for 2.5 years. And we're supposed to take the WBC, take him seriously. I see him always in the ring and stuff, and nobody says anything to him. It's crazy to me. But anyway, I kind of agree with Benavidez. I don't think Canelo was finished or whatever, but I think, the guy has been able to make a lot of money, accumulate a lot of money, and take a lot of less punishment, not ever being forced to fight anyone hard. Never. So if he wasn't forced to fight anyone hard or want to fight anyone hard, and what I mean by that is, the ones that were hard for him, Lara had to force his way in the door, and everyone else was not the guy we wanted him to. It was kind of just like, okay, we'll take something. It's not like all the fights were bad fights or anything, but you know, damn, it's just way too many guys. I can go down a list and say why he should have fought these guys, what they had. Everything that you want in a fight, a significant fight, a great fight, a financially productive fight, lucrative fight. You know, when you get all the accolades, get titles, get undisputed. What else is left? And then then the other guys don't have all that, right? But that's what we have. So yes, you know, your boy David Benavidez, his father, Jose Benavidez Sr., has a point here, guys. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.